world, capturing alluvials and everything in between. If you ask me, Illuvium will never be the same. The game has launched, but we are yet to really experience the true IBG part of the entire Illuvium universe. So with me today, obviously, I have Sam and TSG. TSG works on the team as the influencer manager. Sam works alongside the team, telling them how to do their Twitter better. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good, man. Good. What are we doing wrong, Sam? Tell us, please.
That's a good intro. That's probably one of your best yet. Yeah, thanks for having me again, and let's get stuck into it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, though, actually, the Twitter game has been on point lately. Thankfully, for the past 3 or 4 months at least. Yeah, it's been decent. It's been better than in the past, that's for sure.
Yeah, the new social media manager has just started, so should be taking the reins in the next couple of days. So hopefully we see some changes there, definitely.
Why don't we bring up the Twitter? And I haven't even seen the Illuvium Twitter. But we could judge the last maybe 2 posts or something. And why not do that?
I'll leave you guys to do that.
I wasn't going that deep. I just meant they're like posting more often, and they're putting up they even for the patch notes they put out a Twitter article, which I don't think they've ever done before. So it's good to get the information out in all the different channels. All right, let's.
Yeah.
If you don't want to bring up Twitter, and if you don't want me to critique it, that's fine.
That was your only job, Sam. That was your only. He's not even letting you do that.
Do you want me to bring up the Twitter or no?
Yeah, go on. Just do one. I'll do the last tweet. Whatever. I haven't seen it, but let's just see what it is.
Hold on. Just give me 1 sec.
Okay. TSG, what's the nose tape for? Is that breathing?
It's just a nose strip to help with the breathing.
So pinned, they still have the Illuvium Day 1 launch post thing.
Yep,
that's pinned. Don't go pinned, G.
Here we go.
Reposted some stuff.
Shard Bluff. Get a glimpse of the fiery depths of Shard Bluff with a stunning concept art, molten lava towering cliffs, a treacherous terrain await brave rangers. Which unreleased region are you most excited to explore? Illuvium Shard Bluff. It's okay. It's good artwork. Yeah.
Does unreleased need a hyphen?
Where am I looking?
Unimportant. Okay.
Unreleased.
Go one more. No, not the reposts. Just the posts.
I don't know.
These are good reposts. Illuvium,
have you cast your vote?
It's too late. Share the pic. See, look at the comments. The engagement's just not there. 2 comments, 1 comment. There's no reason to share. There's no reason. I get it. You got to build an IP. It's just not there. It's just no one gives an F, if I'm honest with you. I wish they did. But anyways, let's get into your little show.
Wow. Don't belittle my show, Sam.
Sorry. You're going to do
a lot of opportunities.
The bit at the end, right?
Sure. It's the only reason Sam even rocks up. Okay.
Literally.
So the first announcement we've got for today is the Arena and Overworld patch 1.1.0 coming next week. We will talk about that in more depth later on in the episode. That is our topic of the week. But basically, it has general improvements, performance boosts, and things like that. Some economy adjustments, and the new Gauntlet Leviathan mode coming sometime this week, hopefully, where a brand new competitive twist where you own your alluvials and gear take the spotlight. It also infers that your ranger is going to be joining the fight in the gauntlet, which I'm very excited to see. And so your actual weapons and things like that will be involved in some way as well. So I'm really hyped to see kind of what that looks like.
TSG, have you played an internal build of that? Are you allowed to share it? Or is it
Leviathan? Yeah, I have actually.
With the ranger?
Not with the ranger, no. I believe, I don't know if this has been clarified publicly or not. If my understanding is correct, and I'm almost certain it is, the ranger joining Leviathan is going to be in a separate patch, and it's not going to be in the first patch of Leviathan. So we are going to see 2 different patches of Leviathan being the first one, and then the ranger and all of that coming in a second patch.
Okay.
So it's not going to be together. I could be wrong there, but I'm 99.9% sure I'm not.
Okay.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed with that.
There you go.
I personally, I understand where you come from. I'm pretty happy with it, if I'm being completely honest, as I think getting that first base of Leviathan out first, bug testing that is going to be super important before we add an additional layer and complexity. And also it gives the community something to look forward to, right? We could have this out for a couple of weeks, get the next thing out for a couple of weeks while we bug test each of those things. And I think there's always something to look forward to and something to grind for. Right now, you can go out into the overworld and grind for better stat, higher level alluvials for the next couple of weeks, 2 to 3. And then when that does come in with the Ranger, you can start grinding for that. Or once that announcement is there, you've got a different direction you can go in as well. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not on the same boat. I'm actually pretty happy with this if this is what's happening.
I'm just biased because they dropped a stack on one of the tier 5 stage 3 weapons. I'd love to use it.
They dropped a what?
They're so expensive to craft, man.
Right. Okay.
It's like $250.
Yeah, Wales.
Yeah.
So the next announcement we've got is a Luvidex update to resolve minting issues. We're rolling out an update to address the issues. It will take a few days to fully sync. I love how nondescript that is. It will take a few days. Like that could mean like 100 days. You know what I mean? But like, anyways,
a few is not 100. G.
You know what I mean?
Ever had someone
say, you know what I mean? Like they could have said
100.
like 48 hours or 72 hours, but no, that's not going to happen. So you might experience slower search times. It could take a little while for your items to reappear correctly in the Luvidex. They're on it. Everything will be back to normal soon. I'm just waiting on my Hollow Phosphorus to get minted. Waiting patiently.
Can I ask? Because someone put this in the Discord during the week I saw briefly. Is it IMX that's having the problems or are we having the problems? Because by the judgment of this last patch, we're having the problems, not IMX. Does anyone know more about this? It is IMX. The Illuvium team.
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, so the next one is the Community Council voting has opened now. The time has come to make your voice heard. So go and vote for the Community Council. I will post that link down in the chat for the YouTube chat. Highly recommend you guys go and get onto that and make sure you vote for who you think would be best in the council. Do you guys want to talk about the Community Council nominations?
Can we see who the nominees are? Can we see who
so
the
let's see the
nominees
nominees, and then I have another follow-up question: Is are they? How much do they get paid?
$1,500
Too
a
much
month.
is the answer.
$1,500 USD a month.
Yes.
Yep. Let's cut that by a third. Let's go way less than that. Like these people would do it for free. No, like they love Illuvium. Like at least cut everything.
And
cut everything.
I want to say people's name who I think that I would vote for. So
one of them gets 3,000. That's the liaison. Anyways,
you just gave him a heart attack, G.
We've got Fight for ETH, Illumination, of course, Hackett. I don't quite know who that is. Jim Hackett. Is that a real? It doesn't matter. Patat, Philo, Nasty, Ligeron, Mission Pool, JP, obviously, Dr. Spoon, Naira 20. Very concise answers right here. 90s kid from India by playing games, archive the mission. Ricky Tan, of course, Binay Couchy, Caveman. Give me some very detailed responses here if you guys want to read that. Tholky, Garth, the Brian, and that's it.
You know what? I like Garth because he is literally so passionate about Illuvium in general. I do love him. You said a couple, like Fight for ETH is always around. Bennett, I've seen a lot. I think you vouched for Ricky Tan, right?
Okay, man.
In a recent post as well. Illumination, to be fair, like I think he should 100% be on there. The reason why he's streaming every day, he's literally has so much knowledge about the game. So I don't see why he wouldn't be in there, to be honest with you. And he has a good like guild and everything and putting a lot of hours in. So they're the names I roughly saw quickly, and I'm sure there's others, but we're taking that money down from 1,500. That's for sure.
Yeah, I wonder how many of them would still put their name in the hat.
They would though, because they love the IP.
Yeah.
And then, like, most of them are not there for the money. They just want to be a part of it and build something amazing. Like most of us, or I'd like to think so anyway.
Have you guys seen the response from Binay Couchy and his nomination form?
No, what did he say?
This is a popularity contest and nobody's actually reading answers to these questions because sadly we're unable to implement anything better for council nomination. You try with Illuva Hub to help bring light to nominees and help the community choose the best ones, but there was zero support from Illuvium. So we still have a spreadsheet nobody actually reads. I'm reading it right now. So if anyone is actually reading this, you probably already know who I am. If you're actually interested in any questions, please feel free to reach out to talk to me. And he just didn't answer any of the questions.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
actually hilarious.
Like he's got a valid point.
Can I let me just say something? It does. I get that you can't do the Scoriox or maybe some of the others, but it does feel sad that when I started this journey in Illuvium, how I actually built a bit of a like community was through doing nominee interviews and things like that. It sucks that we don't have that anymore. I think that should be a thing. Obviously, Illuvium can't do it themselves. It doesn't make sense for us to do it.
No.
But it does seem a bit of a shame that no one else from the community wants to take that up. It seems like it's super beneficial. Someone like Benet, yes, he's been around for a while. He is right. It is a popularity because as you were going through those names, I was just running through my head, not even considering what they wrote down. I was just thinking, okay, I've seen this guy here. I know what he's about here. But I'm sure there's a bunch of guys that we don't know of that are very valuable and have a lot of insights to share. So it seems a shame, but I wish someone would take this a bit more seriously. If they are getting paid what they're getting paid, please take this shit more seriously. It's crazy to me.
But on the pushback of if you look at politics in general, it is a popularity contest. So I understand why it is that. Because if you look at Donald Trump or anyone that's ran for anything in politics, it's who is the most popular person, that's who we vote for, as long as it aligns with their values, right?
But as long as they're able to, it is popularity for sure, but they still need to be competent, right? I mean, we saw that with the whole Biden thing. Biden was insanely popular, but once his competence was put to the test, it was like, okay, that's definitely not it. And I think we need that here as well. Like, we need a competence test.
Does this run for 9 months as well with the IMC? Is it same? So whoever gets on this one does 9 months, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, fair. I mean, you should never take away resources from Illuvium right now. It makes no sense to put any resources to this. I'd say keep it to a minimum because it's not a high requirement or policy. I think this will matter hopefully down the line if the DAO really does go really well in the way they've structured it. It would be just cool. Yeah, you're right. I'd be cool to see some people take initiative and like want to do something amazing. But also, if you look at the community, a lot of people don't care too much about this, unfortunately. And I wish they did.
Yeah.
But
I don't think what I did the last time, because back in the day when I first started doing it, I'd done individual interviews with each person, and that doesn't really work because that is a popularity contest, right? Mm-hmm. If Scoriox was coming on, more people would watch that than if XYZ did. But what I did in the last time that I did it, which I think worked really well, was just do a group debate. Organize a time that they all come on, whether in one or two groups, and then just put the same questions to them and have them all have a chance with a time limit. I give them a chance to answer those questions, rebut with each other a little bit, but just knock it all out. And the same way that people are watching this, we get about 1,000 views per one of these videos. I can almost guarantee we would, especially us, we would probably go watch something like that. We'd give our opinions on something like that. We would shine some light on something like that I can almost guarantee that would get similar, if not more views.
Yeah, I think we should. I agree. That'd be super cool. And I do agree with, was it Bennett that said the spreadsheet's pretty pointless, to be fair. Like, just have a bio about yourself and that's it. Like, everyone should know and then do these debates. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think we talk about it being a popularity contest, but it goes deeper than that because popularity is really, you're becoming popular the more you're in the community, the more you're talking to people, the more you're doing things for and with the community is when your name is getting more recognized. And so we can call it a popularity contest all we want, but there's an element of that that's not such a bad thing in a certain sense where, for example, Philo's in there. He's been highly active in basically every single governance discussion the entire time. And you're right, like his answers on the spreadsheet probably don't matter that much, but that's only because everyone already knows what he stands for because the other people in those governance discussions have interacted with him every single day for like the past 9-10 months at least, probably further or whatever, but you get the point. So it's the people that are actually active in there that are ones that are recognized. And that's not just your big Twitter accounts, YouTube accounts, whatever it is. That's people that are active in the community. Yeah.
I still think that we should have a debate. I'm obviously a big fan of being able to say what you think and explain it and convince others of why your ideas are correct. So I think, hey, be put on the spot. being a keyboard warrior is very easy. When you're face to face with someone, even if it is in a video call or something like that on the screen, and you're being asked to respond immediately, it's very different than going back, taking your time, typing something out. It's very easy to be a keyboard warrior. It's much more difficult to be on point immediately, which I think plays a big part in being competent in one of these roles.
Sure. All right, so let's move on to the leaks of the episode. We don't have too many today, but we're going to jump straight into it. The first one we've got is some sort of video Dimitri has posted, where you can see an animated character of some kind. It doesn't appear to have sound, but he's speaking, eyes are blinking and everything. Graphically, it actually looks pretty incredible. I'm assuming this is for some sort of future cinematic. I quite like it.
I didn't even see this, so this is cool. But can you lip read very well, Scoriox?
He's saying,
I cannot lip read.
I can actually. If you play it again, what he's saying is, thank you guys for watching, and the download is complete.
And use referral Scoriox in the Elite profile settings. That I should make that video. I should do that. That's funny. All right. I'll just get like a 11 Labs voice clone of like someone. All right. So the next one is actually similar. It looks like it's the same character, and he's got some sort of cloak on him. I'm hoping this is related. This is either related to the cinematic, but I'm hoping this is some sort of in-game item you can equip. So you get some sort of cape or something. That'd be kind of cool, but I don't know what to really think of it. So the next one is from Aaron. He says that the current plan was never to give the overworld stuff to zero. Things like training gyms and stuff. Some people are like, maybe that belongs in the overworld. But it is to have more unique zero things. Having them compete doesn't really work well. But he won't say too much more since we're looking at the next steps and will give us an update soon. But in general, yes, he wants to give more value to land. So everyone appears to be on the same page regarding land and utility.
Can we just agree that there's like a million things Illuvium could do because it's interconnected, right?
Yeah.
Like you go every which way, like overworld combat and join this with that IBC. I think looking from the outside in, I would love, like, I feel like we need to hone in on more things than being so spread out. Like, I feel like I'd hate to see Illuvium, like we have 12 months runway. It is starting to even get personally concerning as months go by with, less and less time. Nothing to do with token price or anything. But I feel like, I don't know what's going on internally, but I would love to see our focus is like, okay, the number one priority is, as an example, Leviathan Gauntlet. Everyone, every dev, every person who can possibly work on that should be working on that. And I'd hate to see them spread out doing a million different things like training gyms and all this stuff, because I don't think that's a very important thing right now. Like I think raids and making a better product and the loop and everything like that. I just hope they're doing that. Now I don't know. Maybe TSG is allowed to say or not allowed to say, but
yeah. I can say that we aren't spreading priorities at all. I think we're taking a more Death Star approach of angling it at one specific target, one specific priority, knocking that out before we shift to something else. I think that's where we get the best out of the team, as doing a bunch of different things, having them kind of split their mental capacity on something and be pulled to something else. It's not good for the community. It's not good for us. It's just not good. So in terms of being spread thin, it's less of a thing now. And what I'm calling is the Death Star approach is definitely the angle that we're taking.
I've never heard Death Star approach before.
It makes sense, right? You angle it and then you go all in. Am I mistaken?
I think the tricky thing, Sam, is these development places, I can't remember the right word, these development environments, that's the one, are all very different. For example, Illuvium Zero is being developed with a game engine called Unity. The Overworld and Arena are being developed in a game engine called Unreal Engine. And then web environments are all being developed with different things entirely. And so your developers in the studio can't necessarily use all three of them. It's actually quite rare, and they tend to specialize. So even if you want to say take everyone off Illuvium Zero and put them on Gauntlet, that doesn't necessarily work, because that it might not have the skills to actually do that.
But then my question is, why not start with Unreal Engine 5 with everyone, so we're all on the same page? Why would we complicate it?
I don't know exactly why they chose that path, but Unity, it's my understanding, is a lot better for mobile development.
Okay, so there's obviously a reason behind it.
There are reasons. Yeah. Okay. And when I say that we're not spreading things, Unity guys are still going to be on Zero. like that is still going to be a thing. Arena guys still on Arena. It's not just going to be, but yeah, it is more specialized rather than saying you guys do this on Arena, you guys do that in Arena. It's one thing at a time.
I'll just be like the advocate here of the other side, but I know we have 3 regions out and ready. There's one that's just about ready soonish, probably in the next couple of months or whatever it is. Why not stop all production for region 5 and 6, like 5, 6, and 7? Stop all production there and take those resources and put it into Illuvium Gauntlet or Illuvium Overworld or Illuvium Zero to focus on those things, because that's more of a priority than getting regions out and wasting time there.
I think that they have, but that's another problem again, where the development of regions is pretty much purely artwork. And so the artists are working on that. And if you don't have any artwork needed for Gauntlet, if it's mostly back end, then you don't really need them to be pulled off that. I would say that you need the artists to do all the weapons, and I'm assuming that's what they're doing now and stuff like that. But yeah, regions aren't really a whole lot of back end work, so there wouldn't be any devs on that, I don't think, unless they're still working on things like the grapple hook. I don't know.
Then I think in summary, to finish this sort of subject up, is I just hope that, because getting the 5th, 6th, 7th region working on that, I would rather, if they could, those people should be working on things like the artwork that we can see right now. So then the community can actually see momentum and movement. So, I can see this has now been upgraded. That's been upgraded, instead of a rock or something that I'm not going to see for another 6 to 12 months anyways. Yeah,
I will say that those regions that are further out are not a priority.
Okay.
And your points do stand.
Okay.
Yeah. I still think you work on Tiger. That's like a big moment when you launch that. You can almost like soft launch Illuvium in a certain sense, which would be pretty cool.
I'm going to be very honest. I think there are a lot more important things than Tiger to be dealt with.
But
like once everything else is ready, and like I would launch Combat at the same time as Tiger and do like a bit. Make it like a really big event.
We've said this. We disagree.
No.
All right. Let's jump into the next one. From Aaron says he thinks probably more like months than weeks. It's not a hard feature, but it's part of a larger suite of things to make it feel more alive. So it will go out together with that. And what he's talking about is joining Gauntlet arena matches while in the overworld. So I'll be able to like walk up to Sam in like Sanctum Mesa, or I'll be able to walk up to a platform and be like, I want to start a Gauntlet match without going back into the menus and things like that. Again, like months, it's not a high priority, which is good. I don't think it should be. But it's things that are coming in the future. So looking forward to that. The next one from Kieran is, as he has mentioned in many town halls and AMAs, Wave 3 will actually begin in late September, early October. So for anyone who is wondering when Wave 3 of Illuvium Beyond is coming out, it is coming out at the end of September at the very earliest. So don't worry, it's not coming out just yet, not the next 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks if you're lucky. But yeah, so we need to consider that. And the artwork for it's all done too. Okay. And that brings us to the topic of the week. Just changing the thing in the top right. And that is the Illuvium Overworld and Arena Patch Notes 1.1. Now, what do we love and hate about the upcoming updates? And I'm going to go over them really briefly in case Sam hasn't read through them. So they're updating IMX to improve a bunch of stuff. Client restart for IMX, fixing all that. Forge enhancements. A new Illuvidex link direct to items is now available in the Forge. So it sounds like you're actually going to be able to like go in game into the Forge, click a little button, and it's going to take you to that item in the Illuvidex in case you either want to buy it instead of crafting it. That's what I'm understanding here.
Great feature.
Overworld economy update. So we already kind of know about a lot of these. Basically, they made it really easy to find a lot of the higher stage things. Apparently, a lot of the overall prices remain similar because the cost to fuse it and things like that. And so now they just brought the capturing element way closer to what the fusing already costed, but it's still not actually easier or anything like that. Curing cost for Resplendence is actually going to drop. But here is the killer one. Here's the crazy one. Fusion costs for tier 5 alluvials will be increased by 50%. Now, it's not like super crazy, insane expensive right now. And probably the harder part is getting the gems. But this is a pretty big change, which is quite interesting since tier 5 stage 3s are still quite hard to encounter. Arena updates. There's a lot of stuff here.
Scroll up a bit. You missed the final thing about region stage 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, they've just been made better. Like before, stage 3 was like stage 1 and 2 was just Archies everywhere, and now they're pretty solid. Even in stage 1s, I've seen people find a tier 5. I've seen a lot of people find like Axodons and stuff. So stage 1 runs seem like a lot of fun. Stage 2s, I've been doing quite a few of them. They're actually really, really fun too. But it's mostly tier 3 stage 3s. I find 1 or 2 a run, and it's usually the same one for me, unluckily. So it's not that great, but I think a stage 1 with activating the scan could be really neat. So next up, we've got arena updates. I'm not going to read through all of these. One of the big things is you can now select a drone in the loadout. There's a few synergy fixes, a bunch of other visual improvements, basically knocking out a bunch of the bugs. Randomized runs in survival will be coming. For Gauntlet, they've added a bunch of the hotkeys. They've fixed a lot of the snappiness.
Man, you missed something. I would say I think this is pretty cool. Maybe I think this is cool because I know what's coming next. But survival, wave 40 is no longer the final wave. So it's going to be up to the players to figure out what that final wave is. Maybe this is not as exciting for those right now, but I think with some of the features that are coming, it could be a pretty cool thing there.
There's a game that's very popular that released a new feature which is similar to survival, right? Is that TFT?
TFT, yeah.
I heard.
Isn't that interesting? You know?
Yeah, I'm assuming they have the shop and stuff. Maybe we should do that with our survival. That could be really fun.
Yeah.
So the next thing we've got is Gauntlet. A bunch of UI bug improvements and things like that are all being adjusted, which is really sweet. Units from the bench are now muted. Good thing. That was kind of weird. Increase the chance of finding tier 1 alluvials is actually a really big change that people are underestimating. Right now in Gauntlet, it's basically impossible to get a tier 1 stage 3, but now it will be, I wouldn't say easy, but you'll be able to build your strategy a bit better moving forward. So it will make some of the synergies available, whereas they weren't really before. Like Harbinger, for example, if you can't get Axodon, you can't do Harbinger. And Verdant, if you can't get Arcalion, you can't do Verdant, right? So it'll fix a bunch of that. And yeah, the auto deploy is really good, but general improvements and things like that. And Gauntlet Leviathan. So I'm not going to go through the entire Gauntlet Leviathan thing, but the big thing you need to know is that your highest level alluvial will be the one that appears in the shop first, and they will have all of their stats and alluvial bonuses and level bonuses and everything like that as well. So if an Atlas appears in your shop and you have an Atlas in your wallet that's like level 50, that Atlas will be level 50 max stats or whatever. You'll drop it on the board. The next one you pull will be your next best Atlas, or if you don't have another one, then it'll be a basic Atlas, level 1, no stats at all. And this could be a really big difference. I ran some of the numbers. At a max stat, max level alluvial, you're looking at about a 210% bonus. So my phosphorus might do twice as much damage as your phosphorus does. And this doesn't seem like a big deal at first, but the thing is that the DPS actually goes above 300% because attack speed and damage are both separate modifiers. And so you get a serious damage. Like my Scoriox can maybe attack 3 times faster than someone who doesn't own a Scoriox in their wallet, which or does 3 times more damage. Sorry, which is a pretty big deal. So very, very exciting. My recommendation: get all of your stage 1 alluvials to level 20, 30 at least, and your stage 2s as well, preferably. Stage 3s, maybe you can just prioritize the ones you see yourself playing a lot.
I think this part of it is the biggest thing that I think a lot of people are waiting for. Let's be honest, Leviathan Gauntlet. I think once it's implemented, it's going to be interesting to see if trading volume changes, if more overworld runs happen, because players will want to increase their levels. They'll play a bit of Gauntlet, then they'll be like, damn, I lost, and then it incentivizes them to go back out there. This is what I wish launch was like, I guess, with it. But obviously there's certain things you got to launch anyway eventually. But I'm super excited to see this come in. I think this is a big deal. I don't think we'll see crazy numbers take off or anything like that, but I think it'll be interesting to see with like daily active users and all this sort of stuff. So this is the moment I'm waiting for this thing. When does it come out? Like next week, right? Or soon?
Well, it's supposed to come out this week, but it could come out late. We don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's slated. It's slated for this week. It could be early next week, but there will be an announcement if that is the case. Otherwise, as for now, still aiming for this week.
So less than 7 days away. Like very
Definitely.
Like a month away or something like that, right?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that. Yeah, I think it's going to be with the stuff that is coming. I think it's quite cool. I'm personally going to be jumping after this call, jumping back into the game and start catching some good stats, alluvials. In terms of what you mentioned, Sam, about trade volume, we actually did see I showed you guys a website where some guy had made it so you could see the stats and everything. And after that announcement and that website, we did see a pretty large increase in secondary volume as well. So I can only imagine with incentives for Leviathan, whether it's ranked rewards, tournaments, XYZ, I think we absolutely will see those things. I know for myself specifically, I would want to just go buy things on the marketplace if I don't already. I don't have time to play it like that. So if I feel like that, I can almost guarantee a lot of other people will feel the same way.
Absolutely. And if the marketing team from Illuvium's listening or someone from Illuvium, do not do leaderboard rewards first up. Wait at least 1 to 3 weeks or something. Let people play, get the bugs out. I think it'll be silly to have rewards straight up. Let people play, enjoy the excitement, and then bring the rewards in later down the line. So,
yeah, I personally agree with that. I think that 1 or 2 weeks after the bugs and everything, the initial kind of things have been ironed out is when we...
And even do like an announcement on Twitter and stuff going, hey guys, rewards start in 7 days, 6 days, 5 days, whatever it may be.
No, yeah, 100%. And I think you don't even need to do like flat leaderboard rewards. You can just reward airdrop points. Like you can even make it as simple as, depending on your rank, your like literal rank, maybe you're bronze 3 or whatever, you get 100 airdrop points every single day that you're a bronze 3 person or something.
That is, if I'll be completely upfront, that is being discussed.
Yeah, because I mean, we've already got ILV rewards coming, right? You just throw this into the same pile. You don't need to distribute extra rewards. That doesn't make any sense. But like, what I did want to say is, I don't know if it takes one or 3 weeks or whatever until we add leaderboard rewards or in whatever form it might take. But I do think without a ranked system minimum, but without something, it's gonna be. It's going to be really, really
You need
rough.
a physical leaderboard. You need to know where you rank. 100% has to come out and launch.
And it doesn't even, you don't even need to give people money, airdrop points or anything. You just need to have something. Like if you're ranked gold at the end of this month, you get a cool cosmetic. Like it needs some sort of prize. If it doesn't have that, I will be pretty pissed off. I'm not going to lie. That would seriously, I don't know. I don't know what else to say on that, but I would not be happy.
Guess what? In soonish, within a week, we'll know.
Well, that's my concern is the game will come out and there'll be like no discussion on leaderboard or rewards in general of any kind. And they won't even mention it. And like 2 or 3 weeks later, we'll get something or it'll just drop or something. I just hope with the launch of it, we'll get information. That's what I'm most important.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll get Kieran on here instead of me next week, and you can pose all of these questions to him. I think that would be just after Leviathan launch. I think that could actually be really, really something good. It's been about a month after launch. Leviathan's launching. Grill him as much as you guys want.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. All right. So the next thing we've got on the agenda is we're going to go into some of the community discussions that have been happening. We've only got 2 here. They're pretty quick ones. The first one is last proposal for burn plus stats. He's made a few proposals now. I'm not going to go too in depth, but the general idea is that you have like an atlas and you can burn it and you get like a tier 1 water soul and you can use that to improve or reroll a stat or these stats. He keeps changing it, but a stat in general of a tier 1 water alluvial. I actually really like this idea, generally speaking. I like it better of randomizing stats and not just giving a guaranteed boost to a stat necessarily. But I think as far as stat rerolls go, I think burning alluvials is the way to do it.
Yeah, I haven't looked into this, but I like the idea of getting like did he say like a water essence or something?
Yeah, and water essence, water soul.
I love that actually. So that's really cool. And I think I agree with Scoriox as well with if you re-roll stats, I think it should just be from scratch, and it could be anything. I don't think it should improve on your stats. You should have that randomized chance. Could be 0 again, could be 100%. I don't like how you boost on top of it, but also we have that re-roll feature that could be coming in 0 and stuff like that. There's no wrong answers here, depending on which way Illuvium wants to head with that feature. But I do really like this whole water soul thing. It's really, really good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I even like the idea of like if you have 10 of these souls, you maybe get like a 10% better chance at re-rolling well or something. I don't know, but yeah, that'd be
whatever burns the alluvials, which is a net positive, and then also more runs, which means more fuel spent. So yeah, I'm for it. However they want to, as long as it's done correctly, yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good to me. All right, let me get this next one up. All right, so the next one is fuse Illuvium 0 fuels into 1 fuel for the Illuvium overworld. Now, personally, I've never loved the 3 fuel system. I like how it makes all the lands random and they're all individual and unique. That's my favorite part of it by far. And I like that they're trying to gamify this whole fuels thing for the interoperable blockchain gaming experience and stuff like that. But I just don't think from a front end perspective in the overworld, I'm not convinced it's making the game better. Maybe it's making Illuvium 0 more fun. I don't know, but it's not making the overworld better. And so fusing them into 1 fuel, I'm not going to die on that hill. I would actually be fine with that.
Essentially turning it into an in-game currency, a singular in-game currency.
I think there's merit to it, right? I guess I like the simplified version of it where it becomes 1. I look at World of Warcraft, you have like copper, silver, gold as a currency. So I wouldn't spend any resources on this right now for it, but I would be open to the idea. What does the community think? They said there's a lot of thumbs up on that, right?
I think the sentiment is heavily in favor.
I think the weird thing here is that if you do go down that road, at what point is 1 fuel better than just Ethereum? And you just use Ethereum for everything instead of having a fuel on the front end at all. Because essentially your process as an overworld player would be buy the fuel with Ethereum and then buy the product. You would just cut out the middleman. It would make no sense to have it there.
There will be things like, for example, certain platforms, Apple Store, XYZ, where crypto is going to be a thing and you are going to need an in-game currency to circumvent that restriction.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it easy to process. No one wants to be like, I'm going to travel in the overworld for 0.000015 Ethereum. It's going to be like, I want to pay 100 of this currency. So there's definitely that reason to do it for sure.
While we're on the subject of Ethereum and with Illuvium 0 and everything else, what annoys me is when you go on the marketplace with Illuvidex, I hate when it says, 0.001 ETH. I just wish it told me the USD price.
Or both.
Are we getting that?
Just have it in brackets to the USD price.
The Illuvidex has the USD price.
No, because on the front, like when you're on the front page of Illuvidex, it just tells you how much ETH it is, right? You have to click into it, go to it, then click another button, and then that's what the USD value is. That should be on the front.
No. Which page are you talking about?
Well, when you go on, if you look up, say, Atlas, there's 100 Atlases, it should tell me the USD price. Not the USDC, where USDC is, when it says the...
It does.
Where?
Scroll
right
down
here.
first.
You've got, this is how many dollars it is.
I apologize.
This guy. That's hilarious.
Has that been there for a while?
That's always been there.
It's always been there.
Good job, team. I like it.
Yeah. Yo, I will say this.
You got to know when you're wrong.
I will say this. The Illuvidex needs a lot of work. I think
stats and stuff, right? And levels and...
I mean, stats, levels, just the filters. Like, in terms of user experience, there is a lot to want out of the Illuvidex that just isn't there just yet. I've seen... We had this... I would say... We had this situation with Beyond when Scoriox and the Alluvial Master team, that's the one, right? There's too many, I forget. But the Alluvial Master team obviously came up with that great estimation for the value of Alluvitas that we didn't have. We shouldn't be requiring third parties. This is just my opinion now. but we shouldn't be requiring third parties for things like this that should be on the Illuvium X.
I have a question.
Yeah, for sure, go.
Just I want to add on to that. Why not include the third parties? So more resources, right? Like we know Illuvium stretched as it is, 150 team members, all this sort of thing, right? Why not use Illuvium Master? Why not use all these smart dev people who are outside of Illuvium? Let them have the APIs, let them build stuff, and then all the Illuvium has to do is look at the code and make sure it's all fine. And they go, yep, this is great. Let's use this, and whether they get like a bounty bonus or something like that. Because I'm all about speed. If you're not first to market, if you're not this, like, and I bring this back to Luna because it was such a good project, I thought. And Do Kwon he just delivered quickly, fast, good products. Yes, we know what happened, but in general, I would love to see Illuvium I feel like they have to go through so many loops. Like any big company, like Warner Brothers and Fortnite, like for something to go in game, they've got to go through this department, and the next department, and the next one. And I feel like it would be just quicker, just like if you can. Just a faster pace of delivering the product is just a better outcome for all, as long as it's not a security issue. And sure, it can break in game and everything, but just deliver products fast and you'll win if it's done correctly, which Illuvium does Illuvium does really well with products, right? Like I've seen that many bug updates, that many deliverables on so many things. I'm always like, how can you push the boundaries and go even better? Like, let's spend 18 hours a day. I mean, I'm a bit excessive to be fair, but like I'm a person who goes, okay, we have like Gauntlet coming out. Let's put 18 hours today, clear my schedule, kids and wife, stay home, go away. I'm busy. I've got to build this shit, right? I wish they had similar mentality to me, which they probably do half the team. I just wish they would deliver faster, more updates of products, even though they are pushing, but I would like to see more.
Yeah. No, in terms of getting the third parties, look, I completely understand it. I think it makes sense.
Just give them a bounty bonus or something. Like they love Illuvium. We've got people who are very smart sitting on the sidelines. Just grab them, bring them in, and just make cool shit.
Yeah, I don't know how all of that goes down, but I definitely agree with that. Well, I showed you guys that website with the stats. Yep. And I did bring it to the team. I said, we need this. Why is this not done?
Anyways.
Yeah. TSG for CEO. All right.
Hey, please, there you go.
Not
interesting.
All right. So the last thing we've got for the day is the community content, and then we will take some questions from the chat if anyone has anything. But the first one we've got here is from V, saying she's on a lucky streak. You can see this was a stage 2 run. Sorry. She found a Flood, TB Ruko, a Rip Lance, a Resplendent Gem, had an absolute killer of a run. I really need a Rip Lance myself, honestly. I might actually go look for one after this, but we'd love to see it. The next one we've got is actually from Illuvadata, who has did a huge post for the Wildfire Guild, telling you all about the Wildfire story, where we've come from, some key members in the community, what you can expect from the Wildfire Guild. After that, we've got Baloth, who has found a Ram Fight biodata. Excited for some of those blueprints to start to get created. I don't know if he's the first, but that is really exciting. So huge congrats there. After that, we've got a video from Viper where he talks about essential Illuvium insights, new milestones.
What a freeze frame.
What a freeze frame. Scoriox.
New milestones and airdrop tips for players, an Illuvium guide. I haven't watched this video yet. Have you guys seen this one?
Yeah, wait, you've included it in best content and you haven't seen it?
I'm assuming it's good. It got a lot of praise. People were talking about it a bunch. People really liked it. I don't know. If people really like stuff, I tend to assume that it's a pretty good video, okay? God damn.
No, it's fair.
Hey, if everyone jumps off the cliff, I do too. You know? That's his mentality.
Yo, it sounds like we're parents to a child
and
right
you're
now.
on IMC.
Jeez. And then
Scoriox, you're on IMC.
Well, I trust the community's judgment when it comes to YouTube videos. If they enjoyed watching it, then I'm going to promote it here. Jeez.
That's funny as hell.
The next one we've got is from Caveman. I have seen this one.
The disclaimer.
From the Palemos account. He basically breaks down John's entire video and actually goes over each point meticulously. Really great video. Probably easily my favorite video I've probably watched this week. Absolutely awesome. Really love this one. So highly recommend.
Really well done. Yeah, I have to say that was really well done.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
also-
now you guys have seen the video. Why didn't you guys watch the Viper video?
Oh, sorry,
just
I have other things to do as well. But I
just
apologize. I will get onto it.
didn't.
All right. So if you guys have any questions in the chat or anything, we might start wrapping this one up. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Is there things you hope Illuvium does over the next few weeks?
I think we should maybe some positive things, because as much as we are negative sometimes as of recent, just because we want things now, we do know it's a little bit more complicated on the back end than what we see on the front. But, if we look at numbers wise, we're looking at I think it's 28,000 holding alluvials. If we just had an estimate, say we're getting somewhere between 5 and 10,000 or something daily active users, we don't know this for sure. But even if it was something like that, if you look at other games on Steam, hitting around that 5-10,000 mark of daily active users is still decent. Sure, it's not crazy numbers and stuff, but if you look at the Web3 space, look at Shrapnel, right? They're struggling at the moment because they've decided to fight with each other because money, greedy people. And other games and stuff, if you look at the true numbers, take the bots away, there's not many people in Web3. So I love the fact, on a positive note, that Illuvium does have that core audience, does have that community that actually wants to play this really good game. And I always say this, I feel like I say it every week, but when the electric cars came out first, it gives you need to do better than the products before. You can't just come out with a shittier product with money incentives. It's a downward spiral waiting to happen. You need to do better in the safety. You need to do better in the car. You need to do cheaper and everything. So I still look at Illuvium similar to that. It's a different path, similar to mobile gaming in 2010. We do have a product that stands with Web 2. If you took the Web 3 elements from Illuvium, it stands on its own very well, I might add. And then, you try and make it a whole different, they're trying to do something completely different, right? You now have ownership. You can actually trade these assets on a marketplace. And once people learn about this in due time, I can see them coming over, or games will do this in the next 3, 5, 10 years automatically. It'll be hard to find a non-blockchaining game. I think I honestly believe that. So Illuvium is in a nice place. Some concerning thoughts are the runway, and I wish they could deliver a little bit quicker. But from the core community and the daily active users, we're looking really well. I'm not stressed about that at all. And I think, remember, there's no Leviathan Gauntlet that's coming out within very soon, I guess I could say. And then everything else on the horizon with Illuvium combat raids. Illuvium know what they're doing, and they know where to head. We're just waiting. It's just a little bit longer. And I know we keep saying that soon. But I do remember, and I'm sorry to talk so much, but remember a year ago, if you were around, we just had bulbs or the circle things, essences around the Illuvium. And now we have actually alluvials in the world. They're actually running around. There's not that buggy at all and all this stuff. And I think if Illuvium gets that raise that they want to do eventually, whenever that is, if they can secure 3 years, I just feel they'll be in such a good position with what they're producing quality-wise. They do have the best, really good artists and devs and everything by the sounds of it. So, yeah, I mean, just to put a bit of light on it. So just, sit tight with the team, I think.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to, I'll just say this quickly. I can't really add more to what you said. So I'm going to echo everything you said. In terms of daily active users, I do hope that, I would say, based on those numbers that you did bring up, I would say lean towards the higher end of that. But outside of that, I'll really hope that you can really grill Kieran when he's on here next week and he's able to give those numbers publicly. I think that would be quite good. I don't want to be the person to come out with straight numbers. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I agree with you. The foundation has been set. I understand that we want things very quickly. I wish, and I know I've seen comments where they say, "Oh, all TSG does is say, I wish I can tell you this, I wish I can tell you that." But I do wish I could get you guys a bit more of an inside look, which is why I'm really pushing for Kieran to do more town halls, more public appearances, because things coming out of him is much more acceptable than me leaking things here and there. So there is a bunch of stuff that's coming, that's being worked on in that Death Star strategy, not mixed around everywhere, but they are really exciting things. The one thing that I do hope that us as a team realize is, yes, it's important to focus on these larger features, but I do want us to also pick up some of the small wins here and there that are going to improve user experience. For example, the Illuvidex being one of those things right now, where yes, we don't have all these additional features that are ready that we're working on. But if we can fix up that Illuvidex slightly to increase the user experience of the users playing the current state of the game, I think those are actually they're small wins, but they're big wins at the same time. They're meaningful wins. So I just hope that we start to see that and start to be more proactive on that. But yeah, there are a lot of really good things coming. There are really, really exciting things happening. It's just bear with us. I hope we can get Kieran out more publicly now that Gamescom. I know his mind was fully wrapped up in that. That was pretty exciting. And I'll say that the goal is to get it more public, but I will end it up with this one thing. I forget who this creator was, man. I wish I had the name on hand. But I'd seen him go to a couple of gaming conferences, and he had gone, those microphone interviews where they just walk up to him and stuff. He was like, "Hey guys, how long have you been a gamer?" Yada yada yada, and asked them. These are traditional Web 2 gaming conferences, and he'd asked them, "What do you think? Have you heard of crypto games?" They said no. What do you think a crypto game is? They gave whatever it was. He slightly educated them on that, on what it was, and said, "Would you guys be interested in something like that?" Obviously, he's probably only putting up the videos where they did say yes, but all of the videos that he did put up, most of them said they had never heard of crypto gaming, and they all said that they would be interested in it if the game was up to par. So it shows that we're just not there yet in terms of awareness, in terms of product, but we will be. I think in the next couple of years, like you say, Sam, if we can get that runway, if we can extend that and confirm that, if we have 2 to 3 years extra runway, dude, it's a done deal. It's not even a question at that point. It's so obvious. So if we can have that time to build out, I think it's a home run. And now it's my turn to apologize for talking too long.
Yeah, but also, we know gamers want ownership. Like, that's an obvious thing. Like, that is the next evolution of gaming. It makes sense. So, I mean, it's just a matter of when everyone gets educated. If you explain to everyone, sit down with them one-on-one and go, "Hey, this is what ownership really means. Get rid of the airdrop points. Get rid of all the money."
I'll say,
want that.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off here, man. I'll say this because this is essentially the sales pitch, and it's so obvious. If you have Fortnite the way it is now, and Fortnite the way it is now, but you have a marketplace that you can sell and trade the skins that you get. That is the only difference in these two products. Which product would you choose?
Correct.
Everyone is going to choose the marketplace. They don't know about crypto. They say, "Oh, I don't really care about ownership." But if you have the exact same product with that ownership, I guarantee you 100% of them, okay, maybe not 100, maybe 99%, are going to choose that option with the marketplace. It's so obvious.
What's crazy is Fortnite as a company would make way more money as well. So once they figure that out, I don't think they should ever launch a cryptocurrency or a V-Buck currency or anything like that. But if they just did the marketplace or some on the blockchain, like NFTs or limited drops and all these things, and let a marketplace thrive in the back end, they would make so much more money. And I think once the technology gets to that point and it's not buggy, and look, we're having problems with IMX at the moment, unfortunately, I feel like that'll be a no-brainer. And I would say 3 to 5 years for them to do that for sure.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think 3 to 5 years is the time frame. Sorry.
I think Mercury puts out a valid point that normies can't put money into the game right now. And it's like this crazy irony where we did the whole passport thing, so it's really easy to register and play, but we don't have fiat or we don't have credit card onboarding. And so that's all kind of pointless. And now it's actually even harder to use it because getting stuff onto passport besides using something like a credit card is kind of painful. And so it's a little bit of a dramatic irony there.
It needs to be exactly like the App Store. Like I said with the Tesla thing, you need to do exactly the same, or if not better. You can't go worse. It doesn't work like that. So we need to be able to double tap my phone if I'm in Illuvium 0 and just hit pay in the App Store. Or if I'm in Illuvium, it should be a very easy, simple way to pay, which we know the team's working on, but we're not going to get anyone over until we get that feature for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Phantom and the whole Solana thing on the iPhone is doing so well, right? You could be anyone with a mobile phone and the internet and start being a part of that ecosystem. So yeah, it needs to be that easy.
Yeah. What I wanted to say before is the Illuvium team has made a lot of mistakes in the past, but what's most important is that they've learned from those mistakes, they're improving, and they're doing things better in the future. And we've seen a little bit of that. The speed that they've gotten Gauntlet, alluvial hunting, all that sort of stuff to market has been really, really quick. And we've had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather as we've launched the game and we're fixing bugs and things like that. But I'd like to see the team go full speed again as we're going to the next few months before Christmas, getting some serious stuff out. Before we wrap this up, Meta sent me a video that his son Ryder made, and it's going to give us a bit of a laugh. It's like 10 seconds.
I have one more thing to say before.
No. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Cut it out. Oh, I love it.
Yo, Sam, your mate? Your mate?
I was in Darwin the other day, and I won't get into it, but someone knows the people that.
Dude, my brother's in Sydney. He's part of the dance scene, so he knows that chick. It's wild.
Really funny to be fair. But like from an investor standpoint, even like I would say I'd give it till Illuvium till January. If things aren't really like solidified by January, I'd be second guessing my investments by that point, if I'm honest with you guys, because that's what, another 4 months away. That's enough time, I think. Like no excuses of like, oh, Christmas is on holiday breaks and whatnot. I think any gaming studio with the amount of numbers in, the team's been together for 4 years. It's now, they should have I assume, a very fluent way to do all their work, right? So I think by January is enough time to see a lot of these features come in and see a lot more growth from an investor standpoint. So we'll have to wait and see until January is when I would probably reevaluate.
Oh, that's when the bull run's kicking in. Oh, you're still holding hope for 100K Bitcoin end of
September, Bitcoin. Close to 100K. Why are we trading
September, October? Yeah, let's see.
You watch, Bitcoin's going to pump in the next couple of days, and then you can text me if you like. And then September, I might be off a little bit, but I'm going to stick with my guns on this. September.
Isn't September generally
September to December? I can tell you right now, the way the bull runs, Mark, this has got nothing to do with bull. It does a little bit. But normally when you have a 3-month run up with altcoins, then you'll have about 6 to 9 months of nothingness, of just hate. And that's what we've just had. We've had the little boop, and now we've got this part to go, right? So then another thing will happen. Bitcoin will run first, like everyone knows. But altcoin runs last around that 3-month-ish, give or take, and then it will die down a little bit. But we're on the exponential curve on the last bit. So I don't know if Bitcoin will hit what I want it to in September, but it's Q4. It has to be. Unless there's this black swan event and everyone's too bearish. I'm sorry.
Monkeypox.
Oh, probably, to be fair. You probably just demonetized Scoriox. Now he's not going to make it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Scoriox.
So funny. All right, so don't forget to use my referral code. And with that, the download is complete.
You have to leave it live for a little bit because then otherwise it stops. You had to amp that up way more than that.
What do you want me to do?